there, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about the tools that you will need to effectively do crochet. We're going to go ahead and start with scissors, and what I have here are 3 different types of scissors. I have your regular dollar store scissors. These are $1. They're very cheap, but they do the work. And next I have fabric scissors, and fabric scissors are pretty sharp. They're very, very sharp. They're real sturdy. This one belongs to the set that came with my CRICUT. You know, these will run you maybe like $9 to $12. So I will leave links to all of these things down below in the description. And then these are embroidery scissors, and embroidery scissors will run you about $3 to $5. And they're compact. They do the trick, but they're also very, very sharp. So you have to be very careful when you use these. You know, this particular, the point in particular is quite sharp. So whichever one of these you want to get, all of them work just the same. So from there, I want to move on to what you'll need as far as needles are concerned. And what I have here are tapestry needles. And tapestry needles come in a variety of different sizes. And as you can see, they also have very large eyes. So the eye of the needle, and if you can see that, is quite large. That allows you to thread the yarn through quite easily. Like I said, they do kind of come in a variety of sizes, and they do have a blunt point. So they're not sharp at all. And some of them do come with a bent tip, which is a little bit easier to get through the stitches as you're working through them. You will need needles in order to sew in your tails and kind of finish up your projects and switch between colors. So you will need some needles. And some of these, and these are rather inexpensive actually, and some of these will come in a little kit like what you see here. So this particular set came with my crochet hooks that I first bought. And I've just continued to use them. They will last forever. And if you keep them in a little case like this, they won't get broken or lost or anything like that. So they did come with a set of crochet hooks. Next up, I want to talk about stitch markers. Stitch markers are quite handy. They're an accessory, so you don't have to have them, but they're just really handy. So one of the things that they're used for is to be able to kind of mark where it is that you want to measure your difference between rows. So as you're going through rows, you can kind of thread this through the stitch and close it up so that you can remember as you go back around, especially if you're crocheting in a round circle, it's great to be able to mark those. And be able to come back to that point so you know the difference between rows as you're counting your rows upwards. So definitely stitch markers are great. Some of them do come in the crochet hook set that I'm going to talk about next, and the one that also comes with the needles. So, and that's these standard hooks. A set of these will run you about $10 in Amazon. I'll leave the links down below. And, you know, as you can see, these are, you know, they come with a rubberized handle. And as you can see here, they actually have different size necks. So the anatomy of a hook is this. Basically, this is the handle, this is the neck, and this is the head of a hook. So as you can see here, these two have different size necks. The longer the neck, the easier it is to kind of keep your loops on the hook so that when you're doing taller stitches like double crochet or triple crochet and you need more loops on the hook, you know, this facilitates that a little bit better than shorter necked hooks. And you know, each one of these has its own set. They kind of come, if you can see here, the size, 5.5 millimeters. It's kind of hard to see on the black right there, but hopefully you can see that a little bit. You know, they do kind of come in a full set from about 2.75 millimeters all the way up to 8 millimeter hooks. And like I said, a set of these, this is your starter basic set. It's about $10 on Amazon, and most people start with this set. Now, the drawbacks of this is that this rubberized handle, as you can see, and it has this little thumb grip here, is not made of very good rubber. So it tends to kind of like peel off, flake off, sometimes even completely come off. They're not going to last you a long, long time. They're going to last you enough, but they're not going to last you like a long, long time. So great to start with. You get a full size, a full set of all the sizes, but not the best of quality. Moving up from there is the Susan Bates hooks. And this is an entire kit. The entire kit of Susan Bates is about $10, so about the same as the knockoffs, but a lot less sizes. Obviously, this has 6 hooks, and this set has about 10 or so hooks. So that's the difference between them. As you can see, this is made of complete aluminum. There's no rubberized handle on these. Again, here's the handle, here's a thumb grip, here's the neck, and here's the head. Now, the pro points, or the good points about the Susan Bates, is that this particular head on the hook here is pointy. So if I can show you that, that's really pointy. And that really helps to kind of get through the stitches as you're building up your work. So when you are going in and trying to poke through the stitches you've already done in order to continue to make new stitches, that pointed end really does help a lot. And so that's one of the best points about a Susan Bates hook. Some of the drawbacks of it is that the neck is really short. And if you can see that, the hook, the head of the hook here, is flat on this side and this side. And that creates a lot of slippage. And slippage is when the yarn kind of slips off your hook as you're trying to work through the stitches. So, if you can get on a Susan Bates set and master that, then you'll never have any slippage with like any of the other hooks I talk about, right? Because this is the hardest one to get. So the other drawback, like I said, is like it's a shorter neck, so you won't be able to keep a lot of loops on the hook. So not a lot of people like the Susan Bates. There's some people that do, but most people don't prefer this. But as you can see, it does come with 6 different sizes. So if you can see that, they come in millimeter sizes, which is what I reference the most because that's how my grandmother taught me. And then they have the US sizes, which is a letter and a number. I will reference both of those in my projects. So in any of my other videos, you will see me reference both those sizes. So, you get a nice 6 hook set, $10, real nice aluminum steel, so they will last you a lifetime. Up from there, we have the boy hooks, and probably the most preferred of the aluminum hooks for crocheters is the boy hooks. They, of course, as you can see, have a much longer neck. Again, they have a nice handle. They do have a thumb grip, but a much longer neck. And the great part about a boy hook is that the head is actually angled on either side. So it's angled on this side, kind of coming in a little bit at the tip here, and then it's angled this way. So this really does help to minimize the slippage of your yarn off the hook. The one thing that I could say is a drawback for me, and again, this is only my opinion, is that the head is really round. So if you can see that, the head is really round, and that makes it a little bit harder to like poke through the stitches in order to build up new stitches. So that's my drawback to it, but otherwise, this is pretty much the preferred hook for crocheters. Very nice steel, will last a lifetime. So And a set of these, sets will run you probably around $15 or so, and individually they will probably be around $5 or $6. And a full set of boy hooks can be anywhere from $8 to $40. So my suggestion is to buy the ones you'll use the most individually, and you'll save some money that way. Okay, and then the other thing that I want to mention is that there is something called a vintage hooks. Vintage hooks are, and the most popular of those is the Hero hook. The Hero hook actually resembles a boy hook, very much so, in the arch, in the head, in the long neck. Boy has really kind of copied that style from Hero, but Hero is a company that hasn't been in business for decades now, so they no longer make anything. So obviously, in order to buy any types of hooks from the Hero line, you'll have to resort to getting them secondhand. So you're looking at Etsy, you're looking at eBay, maybe even Craigslist, and be prepared to pay a pretty penny for some of those. Because they're vintage, but they are a nice hook, and I would say that probably most crocheters that like aluminum hooks would love to have a Hero hook, but the second best to that is this boy hook. Moving on from there is what I like to call the Cadillac of hooks. The Cadillac is, of course, the clover hooks. Now here I have different sizes of the clover hooks and different stylings too. So the clover hooks are probably one of the better crochet hooks in the ergonomic line. They have this amazing high quality rubberized handle, and if you can see the letter which correlates to the US system of measure, and then the millimeter, which is the metric system of measure. So you will see the letter and the millimeter size on clover hooks. They have that thumb grip, they have the nice rubberized handle, high quality rubber, they have surgical steel, and as you can see, this one is very tiny. This is meant for lace crochet, which I'll talk about when I talk about yarns in another video. But let me show you this one here. This hook and the neck here with the head of the hook is made of surgical steel. This is a very high quality steel. Again, you can see that it does have that curvature in through the back here and in here as well. So it's a little bit of a resemblance to the boy hooks. Where it differs from the boy hook is that the actual head has a little bit more of a point, so it does really help to get through the stitches as you work through your project. So it's a little bit better in my opinion. The head is a little bit better than a boy hook, a little less than the Susan Bates as far as the head goes, but it's got a nice sized neck, which the Susan Bates had a very short neck. And again, they're ergonomic. So if you have any type of issues with your wrists, if you have carpal tunnel or arthritis or anything like that, these will be certainly much more comfortable. And as you can see, I have, several different sizes. And this one here is also a clover hook. And what happens is, at a certain size, they start using this surgical grade plastic. And that is because these hooks, when they're made of this high quality steel, are a little heavy. So if they had to make this big thick hook out of the steel, it would be really heavy, right? So from 8 millimeter on, they start switching over to this plastic, which is really a very sturdy plastic, the same type of rubberized handle, same type of high quality rubber on that. But you will see that the bigger the hooks, they'll start getting into this plastic. Now, a set of clover hooks is pretty expensive. The set can run anywhere from $30 to $60. Whew. So it's quite expensive to get a set of clover hooks. So my opinion and my recommendation is really to like get the individual hooks that you need, because Clover individual hooks can be anywhere from $4 to $12. So they're a little bit better, more affordable if you just hone in on the sizes that you would like to work with and just buy those, right? So that is my recommendation on that. Again, I'll leave links to everything down below. But these are my personal favorites. This is what I crochet with, and you will see that in my videos. Now, I'll move on to specialty hooks. Specialty hooks are, yeah, I want to say gimmicky, right? But they're kind of fun, or they serve a particular purpose. For this one, this is called the Crochet Light. This is a size G, which is a 4.5 millimeter. And the Crochet Light is has an acrylic neck and head, okay? And you have to kind of be careful with these because they will break. They're not, super sturdy. But why they're done this way is because they have battery-powered lighting. So if you can see that, this is really great for nighttime crocheting, or say you want to watch a movie and you're with your family, and you want to turn off all the lights and you want to crochet your project and not have like all the overhead lights on. This is great for that. Same in a car. So like if you're on a long road trip and you're in the passenger seat or in the back seat and you want to work on your project, you don't have to have the overhead light on in the car, which can be distracting for the driver. And you can use these in those particular situations. That's why it's a specialty hook. They do come in all the different types of sizes, and they do have to have batteries that you replace. I have the batteries here, and they're fairly inexpensive. They're like $2.50 for a set, and you do use all 3 of these batteries per hook. So keep that in mind. So this is really great for specific situations. And then I'm going to talk about Afghan hooks or Tunisian crochet hooks. And Tunisian crochet hooks are hooks that basically have an extended neck. They really do not have any delineation between the handle and the neck. There's no thumb grip. There's nothing there. They do have a stop. Most of them do have a stop at the end. So you'll see that they have that hook there, but they'll have a stop. The reason for that is because Tunisian crochet is actually a cross between crochet and knitting. And what happens is you actually will keep the loops of yarn on your hook, and you will build kind of in a very specific manner to do Afghans or Tunisian crochet projects. And I will be doing some of that on this channel, but I would say that this is a little bit more advanced crocheting. But that's pretty much it. That's all I have as far as all the different types of hooks and tools that you're going to need to get started with crocheting with me. I hope you liked this video. Please leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And like I said, I'll leave links to everything that I've discussed in the description. And join me again. My next video will be on yarn. Thank you, and have a good day.